boy, welcome back to another episode of The Average Uninformed. This time we are going to talk about our top 3 video games. It's a bit of a chunky episode, so the decision was made to split this into a 2-parter. Enjoy!
Those giant headphones are kind of like comfy until they're not, and all of a sudden you just realize that your ear hurts because it's been pressed for like 2 hours straight.
Well, I mean, these ones are nice because they kind of cap over them.
Yeah.
They're not like my other ones where they kind of press on the ear.
Mm-hmm.
But, oh, by the way, we're live.
Yeah, figured as much. Good day, Victor.
Good day.
How are you doing today? Don't care.
Okay.
Do you want to just get right into the news?
Let's get right in. What news?
Well, there's always news, Victor. That's the thing. But however, last week, Victor asked me to not talk about Marvel. So all the news this week is non-Marvel related.
Wait, is it DC?
Some of it is. Some of it's other stuff.
Boy.
So do you know who Ewan McGregor is?
Yes.
Yeah. He joined Birds of Prey as Black Mask.
They're covering up his face?
Yeah.
That's disappointing.
And probably his voice too, because Black Mask has that really thick, like
Russian accent?
not Russian, but like
Antarctican?
Like, I'm trying to think, is it Brooklyn? Probably Brooklyn. It's like that kind of standard mafioso voice. You know,
I like my version better.
Forget about it. I'm Black Mask. It's more Boston. I don't know. Anyway, so he's joining. We haven't really talked about Birds of Prey, but that looks like a DC movie that's definitely happening.
Good. They're must be following Sony's plan, doing characters that we don't care about.
Well, it's a Harley Quinn spin-off, right?
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Apparently it's like the one character that popped from Suicide Squad. So they're like, let's make like 8 movies with her. So they got her and Huntress and Black Canary in that movie.
I know nothing about this.
And
Sounds neat.
No Batgirl though, because she's usually a Birds of Prey.
But she's a bat.
Yeah, I know. Like Huntress isn't a bird either.
Are any of them birds?
Black Canary is a bird.
That doesn't really count.
I mean, she's a person dressed up in fishnet stockings. She's not a bird.
She's not even dressed up as a bird.
No, but anyway, that's a thing that's happening. How do you feel about that, Victor?
I like Ewan McGregor.
Me too. I like him a lot.
So I guess I still won't watch this movie though.
Really? I
don't know. Maybe
you'll probably watch it
when it comes out on Blu-ray. Maybe
you'll see it. I bet you will. You bet you will.
What else you got?
Well, you familiar with the Bad Boys movies?
Heck yeah.
Like Will Smith, Martin Lawrence. Bad Boys for Life is happening.
What?
Yeah. So
that's why
Bad
I've been
Boys
seeing like Bad Boys like promo stuff.
Yeah.
Well, there was this one video where they kind of pan around the two guys and something else happened. I didn't stick around long enough to watch it.
Yeah. So those are classic Michael Bay movies.
Wait, that was a Michael Bay movie?
Oh, they're both Michael Bay. Yeah.
That makes sense.
I don't know how well they hold up. I kind of like them, but I recognize that they're really dumb and over the top.
Well, I watched Bad Boys 2 not too long ago. I think it was probably back in March.
Mm-hmm.
I still liked it.
Yeah, because it is kind of like, it just kind of keeps going. Like,
it really does.
Like they resolve it and then it's like, let's go to Cuba for another 40 minutes.
Sorry, I'm making a face trying to remember what the rest of that plot.
There's a part in it where they're chasing Haitians down the freeway and they're in like a huge, like one of those semi trucks that's like carrying new cars.
Mm-hmm.
And they just keep throwing cars at them and stuff.
It's a very Michael Bay thing to do.
Yeah. Lots of girls in bikinis and underpants and big explosions and boobs and bombs. That's his prerogative.
All
his MO.
Related?
What?
Are those all related in one scene? Just a bunch of boobs, explosions, bombs.
I'm sure there are. I do remember though that there was a cool scene for the time where they had like a 360 shot going for a shootout.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that one where Will Smith is like got guns on, he's doing like the Christ guns and he's against the wall and they keep like panning around the entire room and going through the wall and stuff like that. I liked that one, but
that was a cool scene.
I like those movies. I'd like to see a third one.
Do you think it's going to be as good as Men in Black 3 was?
Was Men in Black 3 good? I haven't seen it in a long time. I don't remember.
I think I watched it. We watched it in Europe. I stood in your doorway and watched it. Most of it.
Did I know you were there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it'd be weird if you didn't. That'd be really.
I don't really remember it, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be good or not.
Because it's the same thing as Men in Black, where like they did the second one, and then there was a huge break between the second and third movie.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I'm kind of remembering Josh Brolin plays young Tommy
Jay.
Lee Jones.
Is it Jay? No.
No, he's
K.
K is the white guy.
That makes it easier.
Mm-hmm. Would you want Michael Bay back for Bad Boys for Life? Okay. Also, it's the third movie. Like, you should call Bad Boys for Life the fourth movie, right?
Bad Boys for Life?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe-
You put the 4 in the title.
Maybe they're just gonna skip 3. And just use the 4 anyway.
What was that movie? That was a Cradle to the Grave or something like that.
Yeah,
And
that one with Jet Li.
Yeah,
That was terrible.
I just remember seeing the title and I was like, oh, I missed Cradle 1. Like,
Cradle 1 for life.
But yeah, do you think Michael Bay should come back?
I mean, if you did the first and second one, it makes sense for him to come back, unless he's in the same mindset as he was after or during the Transformers movies, where he just needed to make bad movies.
Yeah, I don't know if he works as a director anymore, like, because that's, again, his signature is like the bombastic, in your face explosions, and
it'd be kind of cool if someone new came in and wanted to capture Michael Bay's essence.
Yeah,
with all these bombs and ladies, crazy gunfights.
Yeah, I don't know if you can get away with the girl aspect of it anymore.
Tossing some Transformers.
Yeah, just cause.
Yeah, why not? Whatevs.
Bad Boys for Life is happening. That's the news. Will Smith posted something on social medias.
The biggest question is, are they both gonna look their character again, or are they too old now?
Well, I mean, they're both black, so they're not gonna look that much older.
That's true. That is true. They're like Asians, right?
Do Asians age? Age? It's hard to say.
Kind of all at once. We kind of put the age away, all the wrinkles.
Oh, okay. And then all of a sudden you're 80.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I think that, yeah, they'll probably look fine. I mean, I wonder though if that's what the movie's going to be about. It's like
I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah, like Lethal Weapon 4, where they're both too old for it. Any other thoughts on Bad Boys?
I don't know. Now that I think about it, after it like soaks in, yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm more excited about that than Birds of Prey.
Yeah, probably me too. Like I don't really like Harley Quinn, so
yeah,
she got a little bit too mainstream, and got tired of seeing all the middle-aged women dressing up as her for Halloween.
Like, I kind of wish she didn't have the blue and pink hair and just did the black and red theme. That's just nitpick, I guess. All right, Josh, what else you got?
Famous person Alec Baldwin got arrested this week for punching a guy over a parking spot.
See, actors, they're just as shitty as we are.
This isn't the first time though. He's been arrested a few times. I remember he was something, he didn't get arrested. I think he just got kicked off a plane because he refused to turn his phone off.
Wait,
during takeoff?
Is Alec Baldwin on SNL too, or am I thinking of someone else?
Yeah, well, he's on SNL. He plays Donald Trump right now. Yeah.
Maybe he's still in character.
He seems like an a-hole in real life. Just a big old b-hole.
B-hole,
yeah.
I mean, he's playing Trump, so maybe he's method acting.
Yeah, this thing is so funny though that it's over a parking spot. Like, I don't think I've ever been mad enough to actually want to punch someone.
Maybe it was like one of those prime locations where it's just space on either side, right next to the door.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you ever been in a fight, Victor? A fist fight? I mean, not just screaming at people.
I mean, is all both?
Yes. Yeah, you have? Uh-huh.
Yeah. Can't say I won. I definitely started though. I was in high school. Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. I yelled at a guy at a gas station once. He was smoking at the pump.
Oh, that's so stupid.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what are you doing?
Did you hose him down to kind of get his attention?
And then he like fought me on it. And I was like, you're so dumb. Anyway, but that was the only time I've ever yelled at a stranger.
When was that? I'm surprised I didn't hear about this.
It was a few years ago.
Huh. Like
recently.
Like I knew you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a little disappointed.
Did you know we've known each other for like a decade now?
It's been a decade?
Yeah, pretty much. Almost. I think it's 9 years.
I'm getting old.
Yeah, we're old, Victor. Anyway, did you watch Walking Dead?
No, actually, I haven't watched it since season 2. What season are they on now?
I have no idea. Probably 8 or something like that.
I'm sure it's good. I can't commit to so many things.
I used to watch until a few seasons ago, and then it's kind of repetitive. They just kind of do the same thing every year, where they have a big event they're building to, and then they just burn through 7 episodes doing nothing until the big event happens.
Yeah, I mean, I catch up. I keep up with it. I see just, I guess, spoilers, video clips here and there on YouTube and through Facebook, because my friends are shitty and they post spoilers for everything. But is this about Rick?
This is about Rick.
Ooh, tell me more.
So had you heard that his final episode was coming up?
Yes.
Yeah. And so the thought was he is going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers for Walking Dead, by the way, if you care, but you probably already know this if you care. Anyway, so he didn't die.
Oh.
He survived.
Wait,
and
I thought this episode wasn't airing yet.
It aired on Sunday, I think.
Oh.
So he didn't die. He blew up a bridge, and everyone thought he was dead. And he showed up on the side of the river bank, and this lady was like, "Hey, I'll help you." And a helicopter came and picked him up, and he disappeared out of the show.
Oh, so they saving him for something?
Exactly. Like, they also announced they're making a trilogy of movies starring Rick Grimes.
Oh no! But I'm assuming this takes place after the show.
Well, I think the point is to explain why he's on a helicopter, or where he's going with the helicopter, and
he's going to Hollywood.
He's gonna be a big star.
No more TV series for you, boy. You're hitting the big spots.
You're gonna see your name in lights, son. Yeah,
that's weird, though, isn't it? They haven't done that for a while, where they've taken a TV series, like the characters from the TV show, and put them in the movie.
The one I can think of that pops in my head is X-Files, but surely there's been more since then.
Oh, my reference goes way far back. Power Rangers, the movie.
Oh, yeah.
I remember seeing that. I was like, that's weird. And they got those upgraded costumes with the armor. I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, and then they go back to the show and they don't have those.
It's like, what? Was the extra protection too good for you? Going back to
it's almost like 2 different people are making this. But yeah, it happens every now and then. Yeah, so AMC is doubling down on Walking Dead. And they're like, hey, we want to make movies too. So they're making Rick Grimes movies, which is odd to me, because I heard the reason why he wanted to quit the show was because he doesn't see his family enough.
Well, I know you don't like TV shows, but how about not seeing your family doing movies? I guess would a movie schedule be more relaxed?
Yes and no. It depends. It would be probably the same amount of shooting, but in a shorter amount of time. So I guess with a TV show, because they have to churn them out every week, it's probably they work in 6 to 8 weeks and like 18-hour days.
Oh, gross.
18 hours probably at the top. Like they wouldn't do that consistently.
Oh no, that's what they're doing now.
Every day they only get,
now that you said that, they've committed 18-hour days every day
to go home and sleep, and then they have to go back.
It's a 2-hour commute each way.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, they're making movies. Speaking of AMC making movies, they're making a Breaking Bad movie, Victor.
Why? Like, what could it possibly be? Well, what if they just make a movie, but they basically just take the TV show, the 4 seasons? Is it 4 seasons?
5, I think.
5 seasons, and just condense it into 2 hours, 2.5 hours. That'd be neat. Because I can
basically. Think so?
Oh yeah.
I think you miss a lot of the nuance. But
No, you wouldn't. They would get it all in.
They just cover all the major plot points.
Mm-hmm.
Just going from every drug dealer he murders.
Yeah, they just line up the drug dealers, and he just goes from door to door. Oh, I like you. No, I don't. Boom, you're dead.
Yeah.
Next one. Oh, Jesse, I hate you now.
But we'll cook again.
Yeah. And the next door.
Now, Jesse, I love you.
And my cancer's back.
But now it's gone. Yeah. Did you watch Breaking Bad?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I think I watched it with you.
I don't remember that, but
oh, good.
I'll take your word for it.
I'm glad their college days has just been a blur to you now.
Yeah.
Josh was actually an alcoholic and perpetually drunk all through college.
Well, that's just not true. Don't say that.
So what did they say what this movie's about?
They haven't, but the thought is that it will be about Jesse after the end of Breaking Bad.
Oh, that makes
Spoilers
sense.
for a show that's been done for 5 years or something like that. But Jesse is one of the only main characters who survives, and
it's a movie about him dying. He's dying for 2 hours.
Yeah. Because Walt dies at the end, and same with a few other characters.
Maybe he didn't die. Maybe he just took some magic math.
I'm pretty sure he died. I think he got shot in the gut. It's been a while since I've seen the finale, but
oh, he's a vampire.
Yeah, that's not how you become a vampire.
Meth and got shot.
I'm gonna fight you on that, because that's not how vampires are created, Victor.
Wait, isn't The Walking Dead universe and Breaking Bad connected? Or was that just like
I think it
a
was just an
jokey?
Easter egg because it was. I know what you're talking about. I think Daryl had like a bag of blue meth or something
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
I don't think it's meant to actually be considered in the same universe.
The
or
movie
not.
ties The Walking Dead and Breaking Bad together.
It's just Jesse. Escapes. He's finally out of it, and then the zombie apocalypse happens, and he's like, "Dang it!"
So then he's going back through all the people he sold meth to and trying to figure out which one was patient zero so he can murder them. And it's like it's kind of like Dracula's curse. If you kill patient zero, it lifts the curse on all the other zombies, and then they just die.
Yeah, but
probably
about
it.
this movie, Vince Gilligan, the creator of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, is writing it and possibly directing it. So that makes me excited for it. I actually want to watch it
I'd watch that.
because it's actually like it sounds to me like it's probably his vision at the very least. Like it's not just like studio is like, hey, Breaking Bad's really hot, so we're gonna make a movie. And then the creator was like, I don't want to do a movie. And then they go and get someone else. It's actually either they told him you're making a movie and he's like, okay, well, I'll poop something out. Or it's like he actually is like, hey, I got an idea. Would you guys finance a movie if I came to you with a script?
Because Breaking Bad is still so hot right now.
Well, it is. It's Better Call Saul. It's still going.
Oh, all right. I forgot about that show.
Yeah. They just had their season finale a few
Very
weeks ago.
uninformed about all these TV
Yeah.
shows.
I think that's pretty much it for the news this week. Well, I mean, do you care about Avatar?
Wait, which one? Like the TV show? Like the cartoon?
No,
Or
not Last Airbender Avatar, like
the Alien Avatar?
the James Cameron 3D movie.
I don't care about that movie at all, but
Okay, then we
go
can
on.
skip it. No,
Okay. Give me a breakdown. What is it?
Well, it's just they may have the sequel titles. You know that they're making like 4 sequels, right?
What? Why?
Oh, they announced it like soon after the movie came out. But James Cameron has been just kind of like taking his time. So there's 4 of them. I don't have the titles in front of me. I'm not prepared.
Well, good. I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll skip it. If you really want to know, person who's listening, you can look it up.
Singular
But-
person.
This is how we cover the news. We just give you the headline. So that was the news, Victor. All of it.
No Marvel this week.
No Marvel. But next week, all Marvel all day, all the time. Should we get into the topic for the week?
Let's do it.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about our
Top 3 video games.
Yeah, top 3 favorite. So I just disclaimer before we start. We're not saying these are the best video games in the world.
I am.
Oh, okay, Victor is. Mine are definitely not, but they are my favorite, and I qualified that by games that I love playing over and over again.
Yeah, I kind of chose mine based on how many hours I've put into them,
Okay.
and the fact that like I still would go back and enjoy it. Like there's a bunch of games that I've definitely put in hundreds of hours into, but like if you ask me like, hey, would you play this again today? Probably not.
There were one of the games on my list because I got thinking about this week. I started playing again this week because it was just in my head. So, but yeah, do you want to do some honorable mentions first? Other games that we like that are not on our list?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. Okay, well, this isn't a singular game, but all the Monster Hunter games for the
Little
PSP.
Monster Hunter? Okay.
Yeah, like I don't know. There's something about them. You've never played them, have you?
No, I've never done.
They're
I've watched you play. It's incredibly boring to watch somebody play.
yeah. It's like the closest thing I can link it to is like Dark Souls. If this was made way back and enemy AI wasn't that smart,
Yeah,
and mixed up with like Diablo.
It's not as easy to die, right? Like,
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's really easy to die. That's like the main challenge. It's one of those games where you can basically beat every boss in the game with like beginner level gear. It's purely skill and not really gear related. So
Yeah,
and something about grinding for hours at a time to get new armor.
Yeah. There's a new one that just came out, right?
Yeah.
That's like apparently really good.
Mm-hmm. I have it on the PS4 and I bought it again on the PC while I was out east this summer.
Yeah, so you like those games, huh?
Oh,
I don't have much to say because I only ever watched you play them.
Well, like, yeah, the new one's really good, but there's, I don't know, something about the PSP ones. It just doesn't, I enjoy this new one still, but I think I would rather play the old ones on the PSP over the new ones.
Yeah, a little bit more nostalgic, not as complicated.
Yeah, less less features that you have to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've streamlined a lot of stuff with the new one, so I think your gameplay is a little bit smoother and you're not doing a lot of useless crap.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, there's a certain charm to the old ones. Anyways,
yeah,
that's mine.
There's an honorable mention. Well, I'm gonna also do a series. Then I'm gonna say the Arkham games, the
Oh,
the
nice.
Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham
Knight?
Knight. Yeah,
Is Knight the last one?
Knight was the last one, and I guess Origins can fall under that umbrella as well. But didn't really add much to the series. But yeah, those are just fun games. Like they just take Batman. They knew exactly what makes him Batman, what makes him fun as a character, and you really feel like you are Batman. And they're just really fun to just go through and play.
I really enjoy those games.
Yeah,
I remember Arkham Asylum. I think that was like one of the few games that I actually platinumed. I think I platinumed it.
that one was really hard to platinum. I remember because there's lots of combat trophies, and the combat can be difficult sometimes.
You remember that one trophy that was like in a single combat encounter, you have to use all your gadgets?
Yeah.
Remember I did that for you first, and then I spent like 2 days trying to do it on my phone.
And you did. I don't think you ever did it. Well, I guess you did if you platinumed it.
Well, now I'm questioning myself.
Yeah, maybe you didn't.
Dang it, Josh!
What does it matter? It's a fake achievement.
Yeah, but I want it.
Yeah,
I got it for you. It's bullshit.
But yeah, it was a fun game. It had a cool story. It had the best voice cast: Kevin Conroy playing Batman from the animated series, Mark Hamill playing the Joker. Yeah, fun fact: Harley Quinn is in the first game. You know how like sexy she walks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
all the mocap's done by a guy.
Oh, please say Mark Hamill.
No, it's not Mark.
Dang it!
It's probably some body expert, but anyway, yeah, I really like the Arkham games. This I think probably City is the best one out of the three.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah,
that's the second one, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
And then Knight is just like Arkham Tank. Like
I don't know. I feel like Knight was you kind of got all the fun stuff out in City, and then you just had to incorporate the Batmobile, which I didn't like.
Well, I think it was more like they wanted to incorporate the Batmobile, but they spent so much time integrating it into the game, so much money. It's like, well, we can't just have it for like a few set pieces. We have to do a bunch of stuff to it. Otherwise, it's not worth the money to incorporate.
And because of that, like the rest of Batman's, I guess, journey didn't feel as fleshed out. Maybe that's not the right term. Like there's nothing outside of the Batmobile in that game that stood out to me.
Yeah, I guess so. There's not really that's the new feature, right? That they're boasting. And I remember that being in the blimps when you have to like you have control of the blimp and you have to like move it so that like blocks slide with gravity back and forth so you clear your path and stuff like that. But I don't remember much else. Well, I guess the Joker he dies at the end of City, and so he's like in your brain.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, it was a good way to incorporate him without being like, hey, he's still alive, kids. Don't worry. Like,
spoiler alert for these games, by the way. Also, remember when they said the Arkham Knight was a new character, completely new character? We've never heard of him.
Yeah, and then
bunch of dicks.
Just Jason Todd. Yeah.
I remember like leading up to reveal. I was like, wait, this kind of smells like Jason Todd.
Yeah,
but they said it was gonna be a new character, so maybe I'm looking into this too much.
Well, that was the thing because it becomes a non-twist, right? Because they also have flashbacks leading up to it, and like one of them is the Joker beating Jason Todd to death, and you're just like, why would they show that if it's not Jason Todd?
Yeah,
like
just banking so much on the guy who said that to be telling the truth.
Yeah.
Jerk.
But anyway, what a liar. What a dirty liar. But that's okay. I would rather people lie to me about stuff instead of being like, oh, maybe it's this. And then because I find that like I'm pretty good at figuring stuff out. And if not, the internet is even better. So it's just like, if it's just like, well, maybe it's a character from his past, like the internet would be like, well, then it's probably Jason Todd, right?
Yeah. Don't overlap.
I would rather him, to be honest, I'd rather them lie. Because then you are a little bit surprised, right?
Yeah.
It's better than, you know what I mean?
I just don't like being lied to, Josh.
I don't think anyone does. Do you have any more honorable mentions? I'd say the Uncharted games.
Oh.
They're not on my list. Are they?
No, they're not on my list either. Wow.
No.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, those great games are great. Again, especially the second one.
I think the second one's definitely the best.
Yeah, it has the best set pieces for sure. With the train and then the train crash and then
and it's kind of before Nathan Drake becomes a superhero.
Yeah, although at the end of that one, I think it's that one the main bad guy is just like, how many men have you killed just today? And you're like,
Oh,
yeah.
crap.
You're like, yeah, I guess you just kind of poked a hole in that video game logic, huh?
Then you
Like,
go into like the stat screen. You see how many like pirates you've killed.
oh, yes, yeah. So many murders.
I've probably killed more people in that game than I have in GTA. All the GTA games combined.
Yeah. But yeah, the Uncharted games, they're just incredibly cinematic. And I mean, that's on purpose.
Mhm.
Like I think the intent with those games is to make you feel like you are in a movie.
And they succeed very,
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah, there's some great set pieces in every single one of the games, but
Pick one. Like, what was your favorite?
one of my favorites. It's probably not my favorite, but it's the first one that came to mind when you said that was when you, and I think it's number 3 when you're out the back of the cargo plane and you like are trying to get to the parachute
Mhm.
and stuff like that. That's a cool one in the desert. I mean, the train in the second one is probably the best one.
Yeah, I think the first one that comes to mind for me is when he's in that burning building.
Oh yeah. Is that the second one as well? Probably.
No, I might be. You think that's number 4? My stomach just made a really weird sound.
I hope it's your stomach. I don't know. I don't remember which one it is. I think it's the second one.
You think so?
That has the burning building, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And then there's the one in the second one where you're in a building that's being blown up by a helicopter, and it's like the floors are like collapsing underneath you, and so like gravity is like shifting back and forth, and you're like.
Wait, I think that's the one I'm
over.
talking about, isn't it?
No, maybe I don't know.
Burning buildings is this guy in?
That one wasn't burning though. It's just like the building is like falling, and you're in it.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. There's some. It's just great.
Yeah.
Like that's just so fun to be like in. And
Number 3 though, they just put him in all these crazy situations where it's like that. The one where he's in the desert falling out of that airplane.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, this is really cool. I really had fun, like falling out of there and like figuring stuff out and not dying. But come on.
Yeah.
Captain America over here.
Like, Tom Cruise-esque. But yeah, those games are awesome. If you have a chance to play them, definitely scoop them up.
I feel like I should have another honorable mention, but I don't think I do. No.
I'm sure I could think of more, but we'll move on. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, you start.
Okay, so in no particular order. I guess I'll do them in how early, chronological when they came out. I guess.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because I told you to go first. I wasn't sure which one.
Yeah. So my first one is Curse of Monkey Island. It's a point and click adventure game. Came out in 95 or something like that. This is a game I played the crap out of when I was a kid. So it's actually the third in the Monkey Island series. And it stars Guybrush Threepwood, who wants to be a pirate. And he's facing off against the zombie pirate LeChuck. LeChuck, yeah.
It's a reasonable name.
Yeah. And that's the thing is this game has, and the entire series has a very particular sense of humor. So for example, in the middle of the game, something is, a map is stolen from you. Mm-hmm. And so to get it back, you have to learn how to insult sword fight.
Sword fight.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like you sword fight, but while you're sword fighting, people will say certain phrases and you have to learn the answering phrase to it. And then if you do, you win that little bout of the sword fight. And then you get to launch a phrase at them. And if they don't know the answer, then you win. And so for example, an insult would be, you're uglier than a monkey in a negligee. And then the correct phrase back to it would be, I look that much like your fiance.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And so that's one part of the middle of the game. So it's one of those old point and click adventures. So it's gathering items and combining them and using them in the right circumstance and stuff like that. But again, it has a sense of humor. So there's a part in it where you're trying to get a map, and the only person on the island who has the map that you need, it's tattooed on his back. And so
you skin him.
Well, what happens is he's out sunbathing, so you have to while he's sleeping, you dye his chest red. So he thinks that he has a sunburn. So he flips over onto his stomach, and then you pour cooking oil on his back. So he does get a sunburn on his back, and then you peel the map off his back.
That's so gross.
But anyway, the plot of the game is you were kidnapped by LeChuck at the very beginning in the opening cutscene, and you escape by stealing a ring from his treasure hold. And so once you escape, you go to your girlfriend Elaine Marley, and you propose to her with the ring. But surprise, it's a cursed ring, and she turns into solid gold. And so the rest of the game, you're trying to break the curse.
Why? She's solid gold now. She's worth so much money.
Because of love, Victor.
She's worth her weight in gold.
But
That's terrible.
anyway, I love these games, and so it's the third game. So by now they've kind of established their own lore, and so they have like some self-referential jokes and stuff like that, and they have characters who cameo from the first two games. For example, there's this guy named Stan who's a salesman. He's like a fast-talking salesman. And in the second game, he's trying to sell you a coffin.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to steal something from his shop or something like that. I can't remember why, but you convince him to get into a coffin so that he'll show you what it's like to be in a coffin, and then you nail him in it. And then in the third game, the game we're talking about, there's a part in it where you have to break open a coffin, and guess who's in it? It's Stan.
Is he dead?
No, he's still alive. So it's just like a fun game, and it's lots of puzzles and fun, like off the wall humor, and he's kind of he sometimes talks to the audience, so he's a little bit Deadpool-esque sometimes.
Okay, breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, and there is some modern humor in it too. It's not completely set in the past, if you know what I mean. Like, so
pulling jokes from like real time.
Well, like LeChuck's big plan is he wants to create an amusement park called Big Whoop, and it has like roller coasters and stuff like that, and like mascots and stuff like that. So it just kind of combines like modern humor with the old lore and stuff like that. So it's a fun game. It's one of my favorites. I played it all the time as a kid.
I feel like I've seen you play it throughout school too.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I go back to it every now and then. But yeah, it's a 2D adventure game, so it's actually all the animation is hand drawn and then put into the computer.
One of those games.
Yeah,
I was really bad at those point and click games.
Yeah,
we used to have. Well, my cousin used to have a bunch on his computer, and I remember one of them was like one of those math related games.
Mm-hmm.
You play it as like a math book, and you're trying to find all the hidden pages. Oh, I can't remember the story, but like you're basically trying to add pages to yourself.
Okay.
But every time you click a page, you have to do math.
Yeah, this one's not like that, but yeah, I know what you mean, because it's kind of the tail end of the DOS era, where it would be, if you didn't know what to do, sucks to be you.
Yeah,
like
I was like 8,
you have to figure it out. Like you end up trying everything eventually to find out what to do. But
I did like the fact that you like, yeah, even if you have all the weapons, you like sometimes you have to like use them in a certain order on the same area, or you have to combine things for them to work on. I didn't know about the whole combining thing.
Yeah. So there's all sorts of. Anyway, it's a really fun game. If you can find it, it's kind of hard to find.
It's probably on Steam.
I wonder if it's on Steam.
I bet it's on Steam.
There's been remastered versions of the first two games because they were old 16-bit DOS games. 16-bit? Was DOS 16-bit? I don't know. It doesn't matter. They were DOS games.
Yes.
And then they did a new version of it. Telltale Games did.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, because it's very Telltale-esque, but they didn't really do a good job, I don't think.
Oh,
they had the humor and the story down, but like the puzzles were not challenging at all.
Well, none of them in those games are really.
No, it pretty much held your hand, and it was like, hey, I need to put an item here. I have 5. I bet you it's this one, and then it's like, yep. Even though it doesn't make logical sense, that's the one I had to use. Anyway, that's my first one, Curse of Monkey Island.
Interesting. Not what I expected.
No, but prepare to be surprised, Victor. What's your number 3?
So mine, if we go in chronological order, would be Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Symphony of the Night. That's PS1?
PS1. Yep. 1997, I think.
Okay.
It's the first game in the series that doesn't star a Belmont. Belmonts were like the main characters of the Castlevania series for a while. They were the vampire hunters, monster hunters,
right?
Of that world.
Simon Belmont was the main guy, right?
There was a Simon, there was a Trevor, there was a Richter. I think
Trevor.
I think most of the games starred like a different Belmont, each one. But I think
The first two were Simon, though, right? Because there was the first
there's
Castlevania.
Simon and then there's Simon's Quest. No, I don't know. I know it's for Nintendo.
Yeah, they were NES.
Oh, I don't know. I watched like a Castlevania thing, like a history of Castlevania, all the games, like 2 days ago. I don't remember any of them. There's so many.
Like I bet it's a popular series.
Yeah.
And not just here in Japan as well. So that usually warrants like a bunch of sequels.
Oh, the timeline that they have for that? Like Konami released an official timeline.
Yeah.
It's so messed up. Like there's, I think PlayStation 2 ones were near the beginning and then the Nintendo ones were closer to the middle. And it's weird. It's worse than Metal Gear. Wait, you know anything about Metal Gear?
I played 4, I think.
Oh, so you like start with the most convoluted one?
Yeah, I had no idea what was going on. And it would be like, I would be like, well, I'll play a level before class. And I'd be like, okay, I finished it. I'll just watch this cutscene and then I'll go to class. And it's like an hour later. You're like, crap, I'm late for class.
Well, it's terrible because like I've played all of them leading up to number 4 and playing number 4 I was lost a good chunk of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah. No.
But anyways, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Yeah, I think it was one of the games that coined the term Metroidvania, like one of those types of games where you just have like this vast map to explore. You're collecting gear, fighting monsters, just a lot of hidden secret areas.
Is this a side scroller or is this the first 3D one?
No, this was a side scroller.
Okay.
Actually, if I played it again 3 days ago, like I actually just bought it for the PS4.
Okay.
Because it still holds up. Like the sprites that they made for them, it's really well detailed. And I forgot there was 3D elements in it. Like it's one of the few PS games or PlayStation 1 games that uses 3D elements well.
Okay.
Like they're not like the main focus on the screen. You'll see like little 3D effects here and there in the background just to kind of add depth to the visuals and the levels.
What is that called? Like parallaxing backgrounds? Where it's like stuff in
the front moves, but not as
yeah, I think that's parallaxing.
Yeah, actually. Oh, nice.
I took animation.
All right, that makes sense. I was like, wonder how the hell you know that?
I read sometimes. Okay. Yeah. So
yeah, it's kind of a cool game because there's like multiple endings that can happen. Like you start off, you play as Alucard, which is Dracula's son. You try to figure out what happened to Richter Belmont.
His name is Alucard?
Alucard, which is Dracula's spell.
Okay.
Very inventive.
Oof, they really strained themselves writing that one.
It's funny because like they have like books or like TV shows. Actually, I think it was addressed in one of the comics. It's like, I shall oppose my father. I shall go by the name Alucard. And there's like a thought bubble. It's like, oh, it's
you just see the letters up there, and it just flips back to Alucard.
Oh wow, that actually sounds like a real name.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
I want to do it.
People will fear that name, right?
But you fight all the way up to the top, and you end up fighting Richter Belmont. And it's been a while since I played. I put a lot of time in this game.
You said you played it 3 days ago.
Well, I didn't beat it. I think I played like probably 2 hours, and I was like, that's good enough. That's enough nostalgia for right now.
That's fair.
But yeah, like if you just go for the main story, like you can finish the game in like 2 hours.
Okay.
But it gives you like a percentage on the map that you've explored. And I was reading up on it, and someone was saying if you just go for the main story, you might only get about 20% of the map. And it's kind of got RPG elements to do so. As you fight, you level up, you get more health, you get stronger, you get more gear. Yeah, your abilities just improve as a typical RPG would. But it's kind of cool. So if you actually go through and explore the rest of the castle, you find a lot of cool gear. Like a lot of it's kind of trash.
Like turkey legs and walls and stuff like that?
No, full turkeys.
Oh, ooh.
They don't skimp on this castle. But like, I don't know, it's one of those things that it actually reminds me of Diablo. If you collect certain weapons, you combine certain gear, your character plays so differently. Like there's this one class or one setup where you can just ditch all your like swords and you go just punch things and you do so much damage just because you can punch so much faster than you would with a sword.
So that was my next question is what kind of weapons does he use? Because Castlevania famously it's usually a whip that they use.
So Alucard uses primarily swords. You'll get like some fist weapons here and there. You'll get maybe a spear. There's a sword. I think it's a rapier. rapier.
Rapier.
And it's kind of cool because it slices, or he slashes in a really different pattern.
Right, because that's like the fencing sword, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of depth to that game, and
there's knives, stabbing weapons,
throwing knives, throwing axes,
Yeah.
throwing crosses, throwing
he can
holy
touch
water.
a cross. Isn't he a
He's
Dracula?
a half vampire,
He's a half Dracula.
half Dracky.
Yeah.
But the first time you go through the castle, there's a lot of crap.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, there's some.
So you say the final boss is Richter, who's a Belmont?
Yes.
Yeah, and so
But it's not.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's who you're leading up to. So who do you fight leading up to him? Like, are you just killing villagers? Like, what?
No, they're just monsters in the castle. There's zombies, Medusa heads.
So they have no
wolves.
Yeah. They have no allegiance to you.
No.
Whatsoever. They don't care that you're half Dracula.
No. Well, I think they established right away that, like, okay, Alucard's not for Dracula, so we're gonna kill you.
I see.
But yeah, you're just fighting monsters leading up to Richter, but then you find out that he was controlled by Death. It's kind of weird because Death is in that video game series. He's like a henchman of Dracula, which is kind of strange.
He's
think about it, I feel like he's a little bit higher up in the hierarchy.
I think he's one of the last ones that you fight. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember.
Yeah. So after you free Richter, you teleport into another version of the castle, but everything's inverted. So so like the castle is basically upside down.
Oh, okay.
So the whole castle was designed so that it could be played right side up and upside down.
That's cool.
So the first part of the castle that you were in, like the right side up version, everything dies pretty easily. All the monsters are relatively quick and easy to. Ah, crap! I'm losing my words.
To die. Is the word you're looking for?
Yes.
Die.
Pretty easy to kill, but then like you enter the flipped castle, and all the monsters are different. All the placement's different, but like all the monsters are significantly harder. So it puts your newfound gear to actual use, and it's not just for show anymore.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember what the ending was. Basically, you fight Dracula at the end, but like I don't remember what it was leading up from.
So do you fight any of the mini bosses from the other games, like Frankenstein's monster or?
I don't. To be honest, I didn't play the other games very much because 1997 I was 8. Yeah. But I think I got the game when I was like 10.
Okay.
But like, so the other Castlevania games, they were a little bit too difficult for me at the time.
Yeah.
They're right up there with like Mega Man.
I mean, they're difficult for me now. So.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. The one with Richter Belmont. So there was a Richter Belmont game that tied directly into this game. It was like, I don't know.
Okay. So
so like I remember playing that one. I remember saying like, oh, wow, like his moveset's basically the same. So they just copied his character from that game and put it into Symphony of the Night. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like was it a Legend of Zelda game where they had 2 versions of it? It was like Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Time or something like that.
Oh, I didn't play those
songs.
Game Boy Color?
Yeah. Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Color.
I remember seeing those games and wanting them, but I think I just stuck with oh crap, what's that Zelda game on the Game Boy?
Pokemon?
Yes.
Zelda game on the 4 Swords? Is that it?
No,
I can't remember. I don't know. I'm not really a Zelda fan, to be honest.
I'm clearly out of it.
Yeah, we're not really Nintendo people.
The Tylenol I took before you came by is definitely good.
Yeah.
Or I'm just terrible at remembering things.
Yeah, well,
both. It's definitely both.
Is that it?
That's pretty much it for mine.
What game do you have, Victor?
Well, for my number 2 is Devil May Cry 3.
Ooh.
Yeah. You've probably seen me play that game.
Yeah, Dante, right? That's his name.
So it follows a demon hunter named Dante. He is the son of Sparta. Sparta was a legendary demon who stood up for the humans and sealed away the demon world. He fought through the ranks.
As you do.
As you normally would as a demon.
Yeah.
And yeah, he fought off the Prince of Darkness, sealed off the demon world from the human world, and then he married a human woman. And they had...
Wait, what does he look like? Can he look sexy? Like,
not really. Like, I mean, he had like in the comics, they kind of reveal that he had a human form, but he kind of looks like Dante. It's weird. Like him, Dante, and Virgil, they all kind of look the same. Virgil and Dante are twin sons of his.
Okay, and I assume Virgil is the bad guy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
usually what happens. There's twins, and then one of them goes evil, right?
Mhm.
So
I wish I had a twin.
Dante he wears a red leather jacket. Is it a jacket or a suit?
It's a coat,
It's a coat.
long coat.
He doesn't wear anything else, right?
No.
Completely
I mean,
naked.
some games he has a thong with his face on.
I mean, he doesn't wear a shirt, right? He's always bare chested with the coat.
Nope.
Yeah.
Only for the third game, actually. Well, there's 4 games out right now, 4 games and a reboot. The reboot was pretty terrible. The first game was actually intended to be a Resident Evil game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they like mid development did so many different things. They were like, okay, it makes more sense to make it its own game.
Okay.
And then they ended up developing Resident Evil 4 with Leon after that.
Oh, is that the one with the president stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
The president's daughter has been kidnapped. Only you can save him.
Yeah. So Devil May Cry 3.
Yeah.
Is that the one where you end up fighting like a media demon?
No, that was the reboot.
That was the reboot? Okay. So that's the one I watched you play a lot.
Yeah, that one, most of the fan base don't like that game because they took everything that was good about the character, everything that was good about the story, and kind of just threw out the window. Like the studio that made that one was Ninja Theory. They were the guys behind Ninja Gaiden.
Okay.
And some other fancy like beat 'em up game. They were pressured to basically try do something completely different, so they try to veer off as far from the original as possible. And what we got was pretty rough. So, but yeah, number 3. So the timeline is Devil May Cry 3 takes place when he's like a teenager. Then Devil May Cry 1, and then Devil May Cry 4, then Devil May Cry 2, and then the new one that's coming out in March, number 5, is I think the last one in like the saga.
Okay.
But number 3, yeah, it starts off Dante's just opening up his demon hunting business that he later labels Devil May Cry. This is the worst name I could possibly think of. It just doesn't roll off the tongue very well for like a business.
That's not even like a common phrase, right?
No.
Like there's
well,
Devil May Care is the one that's actually the phrase, but
that was actually the original title for the game.
That makes more sense.
But I don't know why they changed it.
Okay, so he's a demon hunter. Is it like demons are known in this universe that like he can actually make a profit on?
Yeah. So
he's essentially a Ghostbuster,
kind of,
but with a sword. He has a sword, right? What's the gameplay like?
Well, let me go through the plot.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, you start off the game with an invitation from your brother to meet up with him, and
the evil brother.
Do
you know he's evil at this point?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So the reason he's evil is so when they were kids, they saw their mother like murdered by demons.
As you do.
Mm-hmm. I guess Virgil got stuck in the demon world and wanted more power to protect the people that he loved. So he doesn't love anyone. So I don't know how that. Anyways, and then Dante was more like, I'm going to kill all the demons. Screw you guys.
Oh, maybe Dante's the evil one.
He's probably more demonic than the other. Yeah. You fight off a bunch of demons at your shop, and then this giant tower called Timonagru. Jeez, I played the game enough. You think I know the name? Anyways, yeah, like a giant demonic tower kind of bursts out in the middle of the city, and you find your brother, and this other bald dude was behind it.
Okay.
So you go out, you basically fight through the tower, try to get to your brother. You're fighting demons along the way, bigger demons like like big honchos. And as you defeat these demons, you get new weapons. So the big thing about the Devil May Cry games, it's very focused around combat and how well you can stylishly
there's a point system, right?
Yeah. So the more you mix up your moves, the more points you get. And the more points you get at the end of the mission, you get more currency.
Okay.
So
and then you buy
new moves, you buy like upgraded gear.
Does he have a gun blade?
Nope. I think you're thinking Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I thought so.
His main, I guess, trademark weapons are like a giant broadsword called Rebellion and 2 handguns.
So he does have guns. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So so the 2 handguns, and then almost every game he's been in, actually every game he's been in, he gets a shotgun as well, like a sawed-off shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
And but the big thing about number 3 was it's the first time they've introduced like a quick switch for your weapons. So beginning of every mission, you can choose 2 weapons and 2 guns. And as you're fighting monsters and demons, you can switch between the weapons. So you can dish out quite a few different combos,
Okay.
which is cool. Later on in like number 4, you can also switch up like your combat style as well. So as well as choosing 2 different weapons, you can also pick between 4 different styles for Dante. So one of them being Gunmaster, where it gives you like circle button basically turns into an extra shoot command. But there's Gunslinger, then there's Swordmaster, which does the same thing as Gunslinger, but it's opens a bunch of moves for your melee weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's Royal Guard, which allows you to block, and then Trickster, which gives you like a dodge ability. But yeah, it's one of the first few games that incorporate like such a like in-depth combat system involving like weapon switching,
Mm-hmm.
gun switching. I don't know, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and people complained about like people in North America kind of complained about Devil May Cry 2 being too easy. So when they were developing number 3, they made an extra difficulty for the North American release. So what was considered hard mode for like the Japanese release was our normal mode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then by the hardest difficulty, like Japan didn't have what we had.
You'd think it would be the reverse because they're really good at video games.
Yeah. So you can, it's one of those games where like you play through it and then after you beat it, you unlock like another difficulty, but you have all your weapons. It's like a new game plus.
Oh, okay.
So you can go through it again. And I think there's 4 tiers of difficulty. Like the last difficulty, like the hardest difficulty, the demons basically end up just soaking up damage. They don't flinch as easily.
Okay.
So you really have to like be on your toes with your combos so that you're not just button mashing. It's really cool. And after you beat that one, you get a difficulty where it's called Heaven and Hell, where everything, including you, die in one hit.
Ooh.
So you can blast through the game really quickly with just your guns.
Okay. Okay. So you've talked about the combat a lot. So what is in between the combat, or is it just you're thrown into a room and you just fight guys until it's empty and then cutscene?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. There's no platforming or anything like that.
There's not a lot. There's some areas, but there was a bit of platform. I wouldn't say platform. Yeah, I guess platform.
Traversing.
Yeah, in the first and second game, and people were kind of complaining about this because like they weren't well done. Like there was in the first game, there was a underwater level which puts you into like a first person view, and they give you like a little like needle gun, and you basically have to swim through a sunken ship, and it just broke the game up in like a bad way.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah, it's like the water levels in Zelda. Nobody likes them.
It's like the sewer level in any game. Okay,
but yeah, it's. What was I gonna say? The story is actually pretty good. You'd think for like a game that's strictly focused on combat, the story is kind of takes like a backseat. I mean, if you compare it to like Uncharted or like The Last of Us, real comparison. Those games blow this thing out of the water. But it's got a pretty compelling story. Like they develop the characters very well. Like you see the motivation behind your brother. You see the motivation behind the bald man named Arkham and his daughter Lady. Her actual name is Mary, but I guess Dante calls her Lady so many times she just goes by that now.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a good example of good writing.
I was gonna say they're really sweated thinking that one up.
But yeah, you fight through the tower, you get to your brother, and you get your ass kicked the first time. Which awakens Dante's like hidden demonic powers. So he can change into a demon or his demon form for the rest of the game. Yeah. Mission 7.
Does he look really does he look different?
He looks pretty cool. He looks pretty demonic.
But does he look just as emo?
Yeah, actually, if you if you take it from like
does he still have the white
demon
hair?
Standards, his hair kind of turns into like a metallic plate, like a plate. Like it's not. I don't know. Google it. I don't know. I thought it was pretty badass, but now that I think about it, it's like, yeah, it's a little emo, isn't it?
Well, yeah, he's a very emo character. I think of him as like the quintessential Japanese emo guy.
But he's not emo at all, though. Like he's kind of a goof.
Really? So he's not like, oh, I'm half demon.
No, like
so
he doesn't take anything seriously. Like like every situation, he's kind of cracking jokes.
That's not the impression I got. But I only saw the reboot version, which maybe got rid of that.
Oh yeah, there was one conversation between him, like the reboot Dante, and like a demon, and the conversation or the back and forth was fuck you, no fuck you, fuck you. It's like, oh, this is the writing I look forward to in this.
Yeah, they stayed up all night writing this.
Yeah,
And it's like I think it's like the second boss you come across, and it's like, really?
Okay, so Devil May Cry 3. So going into like 4, all right, would you say you're more excited about the gameplay again or the story, like continuing the story?
Or like 5, you mean?
Or yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Then I don't know. The new one. Yeah. At the end of the third game, you find out that Arkham is after your father's powers that was sealed away in the demon world. So then you and your brother defeat him, and then you fight your brother because he wants to grab like your father's powers and basically rule over the human world.
I'm confused with Virgil's alliances, like which but doesn't matter.
He's kind of just on his own. He wants his own thing. He just wants more power. Basically, it breaks down to.
Is he kind of like
more power.
Loki, where he's just more about screwing up everything than?
No, he's kind of just.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, the 5th one comes out in March. I'm pretty psyched about that. I'm more like pumped for the combat.
Mm-hmm.
They've introduced a lot of cool things, but the story actually is. I'd say the story's up there too.
Okay. Well,
because it's supposed to be like end of the Sons of Sparta saga.
Okay.
So like the creator was kind of hinting at there's going to be more. It's going to be a number 6, but it's not going to follow these guys.
Okay.
Which is
we'll have to talk about it when it comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's Devil May Cry 3.
Devil May Cry 3.